These two characters are awesome. Especially this one. That's it. Hello everyone, this is Floxcat, and welcome back to a video game review, and welcome to a video game review that many, including my own self, would not expect me to review. Being, of course, Animal Crossing New Horizons, because I got a level review. I never thought I would get into this video game series as a whole, but thanks to my brother, and thanks to my sister, well, one of my older sisters, and thanks to this character in particular, and of course the other one, and I guess these three, I finally enjoyed Animal Crossing New Horizons. Like, literally, 10 out of 10, S plus if Sonic scoring counts, I don't know, and stuff. Like, literally, it's a great game. But this review is also going to be kind of an explain video in kind of way. Mostly because I kind of also want to explain why it's a great game. Because you've already seen these reviews, people giving out 10 out of 10s and all that. And to be fair, even without me playing it, there was actually a reason why this game exceeded. But there's actually more that meets the eye, because when I finally pick it up, like, I thought this was a fad kind of thing. I mean, yes, I was somewhat intrigued of getting Animal Crossing. Like, even before I got New Horizons, you guys noticed I have an Isabelle and Rover doll. But at the time, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what to do. But after convincing and this new character, which I argue is one of the best character design in video game history, jokingly speaking in my term, there's probably even more better. Trust me, really there is. I kind of want to go ahead and do a huge review a little bit, but also an explanation on why I think Animal Crossing New Horizon is pretty much one of the best games I ever played. And even then, now made Animal Crossing the third Nintendo franchise I now truly love. Because at the time, before Animal Crossing, there was only at least two franchises. Hell, even actually one franchise I only liked from Nintendo. And that was Pokemon. And mainly Pokemon. But also, of course, Kirby games. I mean, I have Kirby 64 and Kirby Triple Deluxe. And I do love that. And of course, I know what you're saying, Floxcat, what about other games you have played of Nintendo? Because it's a fair point. I do love Nintendo as a whole. Because there's a lot of good games. Like, for example, I do love Fire Emblem Fates. It's one of my favorite 3DS games of all time. But would I get into all of Fire Emblem? Heck no, especially not in Free Houses, because I actually haven't played that game yet, but I heard there's a lot of differences from Fire Emblem Fates, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Which is a fair point, because some of these franchises, I do love playing some of their games, but I wouldn't fully get into it. Like, a better example would be Mario. Trust me, I have even Mario Maker 1, but that's it. I think. I'm trying to remember if I do have a little bit of other Mario games, but very little. But that's only because I'm not actually into Mario at all. Like, my brother can even back me up when I say that I did actually play his Mario Odyssey when he had his Switch, and I literally dropped it because I got fucking bored of it. So yeah, it's very rare for me to slap into, especially due to Pokemon really having a very high bar, not just as my favorite video game from Nintendo, but literally up to this high of my favorite video games of all time. And don't get me wrong, there's even better games than Pokemon, trust me. But for my personal taste levels, Pokemon will always be up to my heart. And now the next game to probably get close to it was Animal Crossing, which is saying something because, again, I never expect to get into this, but after going through that 5 minute, it's getting ready to be 5, seeing the time limit here, but you might be wondering how did I got into it and why is Animal Crossing so addictive, because I've been for the last freaking days For the last 1 month, because I played this game 1 month, so it's not. I know it's a little bit way early because I haven't gone through all the holidays in there, but it's good enough to already do a review. But how in 1 month I started playing a game every single day and all that. And I think the answer to that is the fact that the game makes you play every single day. Because if you don't, you won't get some of the perks it has. Which leads us to the first reason why this is so addictive to many people. The game, for those who do not know what Animal Crossing New Horizon, or basically what Animal Crossing is technically another Sims game, although I know that's definitely not the case with this game. It's way different, but it's the best way I can say it. And it's very interesting to say the least because in Animal Crossing, your goal depends on the game, but mainly your goal is try to get villagers of animals into your area and stuff. I know I'm just new to the series, so how to describe it is going to be stupid as fuck. But that's just a side note to the thing. And there's a lot of personalities with these villagers, of course. Like this one apparently is a snooty, and that's surprising since it's based off a nerd mouse science rat kind of thing. This one is Peppy, and the other two I don't even fucking know. I haven't used too much of these, but And it's completely fair because, there's a lot of personalities. There's obviously going to be a lot you will like, even if you don't like the more popular ones like Rosie here or, Patrick. There's tons to like, even the non-ones you don't even know, like the other villagers you don't know. But the reason why going back to the whole why is a day thing is there's always going to be a daily thing for you to do. Like, for example, there's a system in there where you use something called Nook Points. I know that sounds stupid, but it is true. It's literally titled Nook Points. And the point is, you use it as currency to spend things, and every day you have to check in to get it. And that's the thing, because every day, when you do it every single day, it's kind of like more like, kind of daily basics, the best way to say it, or kind of just a norm. And it's actually kind of cool because every day there will be something new to do. Or just, a normal chore kind of thing. Even though you don't usually say that in video game term. But I do kind of like it. It does get a little bit way too repetitive. But since, I'm okay with a little bit of repetition, it's fine. I mean, I don't know when I'm truly going to drop the game. But I definitely not am holding on to it to much to the extent. And pretty much what I've been doing is mostly getting fossils and, doing the whole basic things. Which is fine because, my island isn't complete yet. It's almost filled with residents. I'm all the way up to the number 10 villager. I just got the 9th one recently, if you can pay attention. But there is a lot of daily thing. But at that point, you might be wondering, then that sounds completely boring. And that's true. Repetition is a little bit tricky when it comes to video games because on one hand you don't want to get too repetitive, otherwise become a gotcha game, and on the other hand you have to at least have some stuff to do after even post game, so it makes sense. But what Animal Crossing does, to my opinion, and why it becomes so much a popular game, to my opinion, is the fact of how very much really personality-wise it has. The best way to put it is you have you heard of the stupid meme from the iceberg videos? Even when I tried to do one, which was terrible, of you hear every copy of Super Mario 64 is personalized, jokingly speaking. Obviously not true even in reality. That's just the only way it can personalize if the person owns it and blah, blah, but, it's not an actual kind of thing. The reason why I go to that meme is that's the best way to describe how Animal Crossing goes. Even though, again, not every video game is personalized. They have different code bars, of course, but da da da. But what I mean by it goes to every personalized is this game is definitely like very much up to date with situations of life and stuff. Because for one, you can instantly even out, which is actually kind of rare because I don't think even Pokemon did this at all. You can actually go out of your way to change your gender even after you chose it, which is very big because a lot of representation of the LGBTQ plus community and all that. And even then, it allows so much personality that you'd be surprised. Like it will do whatever it can to make sure you feel very comfortable and at home at some time. And hell, I would even argue that it's not even just cozy. It really is just a match of life mostly. And there's a lot of good things to it too. Like for example, probably the biggest thing that I praise the most is that you can actually, if you don't find a clothes that you don't like at all in this game, which for me, jokingly speaking, there are a few I did like, but most of them are like, meh, they're pretty cool, but I'm kind of mad with that. You can actually make your own clothing. There's a thing where you can actually make something like not like this, but make your own stuff. Like hell, if you see in the title card, I literally made a whole entire flux cap robe in the game, which is completely insane. It's not just even clothing. You can do even without even the hats part too. You can also make other items like umbrella, a fan, and the creativity is also key. Which I never seen much games even evolve around that much anymore. Like that's kind of like the recent time I ever seen a game done that. Like the only other time I've ever seen creativity mostly to the point where you can actually draw on it is either Draw to Life or Mario Kart DS. And yes, again, I played Mario before, even DS. And it's pretty cool too because it feels so natural, feels so great. Like you can make a masterpiece or you can just make whatever you want to make and stuff. I've been having fun with that for sure. Like whenever I get bored, it's be fun. And there's other ways to be personality with your island. Like you can have whatever villager you want. Although that situation is a little bit interesting. I'm not going to go into too much details because I haven't fully completed. I'm keeping all my villagers what I got left. Like the only one I even wanted was this, but then again, I got lucky and got this too because this one's also a kind of favorite for me. And pretty much it's very personalized. Now, I obviously haven't completed the game yet to get the slider in there, if you know what I mean. But, it's completely fine. And it's not that bad either. It's very unique, it's very timely paced and all that. Like, there's some things that are kind of meh. Like, one of the biggest meh I gotta give is just how the storage system works. Because you have to pay off your dang house debt and all that, but in order to upgrade your house and do all that, like I said, you gotta pay for it. You can't really make enough money in that game that much most of the time, so you really have to best on luck. And I already, even though I haven't paid it yet, I already filled up my latest update of my house. And according to my brother, he had to even buy multiple houses to put multiple things in there. I'm like, yeah. And that's another mad to say the least. Another met is that the game doesn't really tell you how to get villagers at first hand because it really doesn't tell you what you need to do. You have to. I mean, it probably does, but I haven't found a way where it was blah blah. I actually had to look up online and see what I was doing wrong and all that. So that's a little bit of a meh. And finally, I think another meh would be like the I don't know. I guess kind of the fact that the music, like I'm kind of okay with some of the music, but most of it is just, I hate to say it, but Animal Crossing music is a little bit more dull than I thought it would be. Like there actually are good, there are kind of some that is great there. Like again, I think now Bubblegum and of course Rider is one of the good ones. I actually have my own personal favorite, but for the most part, and again, kind of go back to the whole personal thing. But the most part, some music is kind of oof. But I guess it's fine because the music isn't the point of the game. And of course, cap things off, it's really is just peaceful, and that's kind of a great thing. Like you can do whatever you want. And I haven't gotten to the point where you can customize, actually do start doing info structures of your island, because I know that's part of the game. But you guaranteed I am gonna, once I get so many stuff ready, I am gonna start building on that island, at least. Though I'm keeping the villagers because I don't care. Which is great because you can keep them or you can move them out. I don't know about that, but I'm keeping most of my villagers, or rather all of them. But however, I'm actually not done because believe it or not, I also am also going to review the DLC. Being, of course, the Happy Home designer, blah blah blah. Now, before I continue, side note: I haven't gotten the rooster crap thing yet. I don't know. But for the most part, what I played with the Happy Home Designer, I'm glad I came in just in time with that because that's still recently new because it just came out this last year. In fact, way late last year in November. That thing is also pretty good. Like for reference, what you need to do is you gotta build a house for let's say for example, since I actually did use him for this, you gotta build kind of a house for like this character. And it's fun. It's actually great. It's kind of good because you can customize how you want their house to be like. I would say it is good. Not my fully cup of tea, but I have been playing a lot, and it's actually kind of fun doing it. But that's the only closest thing I could say because, but it is a good add-on because you even try to get now more villagers you want. I even got some of the rare ones from there, like Olivia, and apparently the one that looks like the fire hydrant. I know it's not really a fire hydrant. They just changed it because of censorship reasons. But that oiled, whatever the flip that actual thing based off an actual creepy thing that is in Japan is real and blah blah thing. The bunny girl with the holes in her eyes. This is literally not a joke. I'm not making this up and stuff. And it's it's pretty good. It literally is pretty good. It's a pretty good game. But of course, the way I'm describing it is not very well tuned to the answer of why is this game very much addictive, not only for me, but most of the people. I think there's actually two reasons. One, it came at a very ultimate great time, especially when it first came out. And two, even after that time, it's still accessible for many people. You can be literally mostly whatever you want to be in that game. Which is big because nowadays that is kind of an issue nowadays with most of the games. Because most people want to be who they are. And even Pokemon, unfortunately, even though they have tried to make improvements, literally ain't doing a good job like Animal Crossing is. I'm saying that is actually true. And even then, like I said, by good timing, the reason why I say good timing is because it came out literally at the beginning, at the start of the the 19 that was happening. If you know what I mean, I'm trying to censor this as best as I can. Because I don't know what will happen if I do say the full thing. But it is practically true that it came at a good time because when people were locked down in their houses, they didn't have stuff to do. Hence that daily routine. That was I was going to say. Daily routine, there we go. But either way, It's really great. Like, heck, even then, I was looking at Wikipedia of this game, and apparently even then, it got even further to the point where it got even political. Like, people doing stuff with it, and even stars were actually playing this game. That just shows how popular this game was. That's why it was so addicting at the time. And it still is to this day, because the major reason is, even though we're no longer in that situation, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, but, we're literally getting out. We're still trying to literally walk. We can see sunlight. That's the best way I can say it in that metaphor. It's still a very good game because it's daily. It literally is. It got a routine to it that is great. And hell, I ain't even going to admit this, and I have admit this before, and I don't mind getting shot because I know this is going to sound stupid. But the best way to put it, it also reminds me a lot of Minecraft in a way. I mean, hell, they even kind of stole. I don't know. It's still weird to me, like because now they're kind of more best bud. But they stole Minecraft, and I say that because Nintendo and Microsoft kind of thing. But they stole Minecraft crafting table and kicked it into a freaking stump, and they kind of stole their crafting idea. Like, I get it because it's supposed to be an island, hence the name New Horizon kind of thing. But really, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with it, but it's still funny and weird. But not only that, but it reminds me, the reason why I compare it to Minecraft is both games are accessible to people and both are very peaceful. The only difference is Minecraft is more action-based kind of thing. And, there's actually a lot of trouble with that series behind its developer, side note. Meanwhile, you don't have mobs killing you in freaking Animal Crossing. That sounds so fucked up. DLC Zombie Apocalypse, I don't fucking know. But still, I like I said, this review and explain really can't do much justice because there's obviously better videos out there explaining it. But like I said, I want to give my own take on this. Oh, and by the way, you might be wondering what I've been holding all this time. It is kind of nerd to my opinion, but it's kind of cool. These are the amiibo cards where you can actually invite your villagers to. I actually have now 4, and I'm actually planning to start collecting these because these are actually rare. Like, literally, I had to wait for this villager card for a while to get here and stuff. And it's practically pretty cool to say the least, but they're very rare. Like, I got lucky. I even got Superman lucky with this card because it came with obviously this, as you can tell. But actuality, I got it from a GameStop who only had just one, and I was just plain shocked that they had just one. But it shows just how rare. I mean, you can still buy it off of eBay. That's where I got this from. But still, it's very rare to find, the cards you want to get. But it's pretty cool. Not very. I don't know what else could be used with amiibo cards because again, it's amiibo. Even though it's not like the other toys of life, including one that I'm planning to review later, freaking Skylanders. Because oh boy, I actually do got some cool reviews to do with that one too. But even though they'll shoot me because of reasons, you know what. But kind of basic. You just invite your villagers to a campsite. You gotta convince. That's how I was able to get this and this to my island, or rather, her and her because they're girls. But yeah, like I said, nothing too major, to say the least, about this game. I mean, I'll just say this. I won't literally force people to try this because, again, it's debatable. Like, my oldest sister actually also gotta go because my other oldest, but she's also younger than her, try to get her into it, but she said it was boring. And it makes sense, too, because I say it makes sense on my level because like I said, I compare it to Minecraft, and Minecraft can get a little dull at times because it really is a slow paced game. But if you're looking for slow paced games and stuff that is you want to be you, I think New Horizon might be the best game ever to do that. Like, it's very accessible. It got a lot of creativity behind it. Has literally colorful. Like, I haven't even talked about the graphics yet. The graphics are pretty good. I mean, not as golden as, like, I think for Pokemon, but still pretty good. And like I said, these character design, even these, even though I don't mindly care, their character designs are pretty creative and all that. But anyways, that's it for my review and kind of an explanation on why Minecraft is so addictive. This has been Floxcat, and I'm definitely snapping out of here. Bye bye.